of those things a lot easier said than done, right? But I feel like by the time this is over, something along those lines feels almost like an inevitability, if not already present, you know? Okay, let's head on back up to the temple and finally get our next quest. Navusa Ladri thanked me for solving her problem with the statue in Amanus. She rewarded me with an enchanted amulet. We didn't even write down that it was her mother's. When we had last left the Nerevarine, their adventures continued in a most thrilling but somewhat different way. Indeed, instead of being able to investigate what would come of the duplicated, replicated, but often unappreciated statue, they decided to go take revenge on the vanishing highwaymen who had robbed them not too long ago and made off to their super secret hideaway. Well, the Nerevarine saw to finding where they hid inside of the mountains just outside of Omanus? And it was there that they did battle with them all and reclaimed their lost treasure, and then some. However, now it was time to get back to what they were doing with the statue. This is the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Tamriel Rebuilt. This is Morrowind Mondays. Welcome back. Shoop. Now, also, in between videos, I didn't do anything, but guess what? At some point or another, did I even notice last time? I don't think I did. It got fixed. When did that pop up? I didn't even notice. Yeah, I have no idea how we did it. But somehow, this has occurred. I don't know what it was, but something changed and fixed it. Anyway, we got the update. It has been 2 weeks since I commissioned a copy of the Amanus statue to be made by Inira Therethi. I should go check the islets south of Golmak, where Navusa told me to meet her. Alright, and we are currently in Omanus, so yeah, we need to head over to Andothren. Alright. But yeah, folks even very helpfully wrote in with console commands to advance the stages of the quest, which was going to be my, last resort. But hey, for whatever reason, we didn't need to do it. Also, I tried to look at the comment that was left behind about how to get rid of these folks, and I couldn't find it. It had, vanished. I could not find it no matter what. But you'll be pleased to know I did get rid of the little you're leaving and entering the preview areas, right? Okay, let's head over to Andothren.
We make a special trip just for you.
Good.
Same low price.
Okay. Let us... Should we just... Yeah, let's just run for it, huh? Let's just get out of here. There we go. Good, good, good. It is interesting that there's these big, I don't know, square blocks, bricks, cinder blocks. I don't know what you would even call them. And this, to be clear, this isn't exclusive to Tamriel Rebuilt. The core game does this. It's just it never really occurred to me until now, but what part is this from? Right? These blocks, none of it looks like it's put together from blocks, you know? It looks like the concrete was almost poured out into a mold. You know, there's no, seams where the blocks would actually be placed together and something made to adhere them together, you know? Huh. Weird. But yeah, you see it all the time in the core game as well. It's just odd. You know, it never occurred to me until now. Okay, let's head on over. Maybe we'll be able to see the statue now, or maybe it will still be busted, even though we got the update. It's entirely possible, and just in case, we can grab the console commands and make use of them. Right? Let's continue on with our speedy boots as well. There we are. Across a nice bridge. Should be like over this direction? Southeast, right? Can we see it? Oh my gosh, yeah, I think I can see it there. Look, the legs are just poking out from behind the giant overgrown like cork bulb tree. Wow. Okay. Cool. How can you... What's the viewpoint from the actual town? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you get a... Do you think anybody living here can even see and appreciate it? You know? It's just not meant for anybody here, is it? How about at this place? Where the rich folks live. Wow, not even these wealthier folks here can see it. Incredible. How about all the way up top? No, the shroomage and trees just like completely obfuscate it. Wow, amazing. Look, at least at the could you imagine if we moved it? If we didn't create a replication, a duplicate of it? Look at that. Nope, we would have just completely put this nice statue. At least people in the other town at Tane, they could see the statue, right? They could walk over to it very easily. This? If we didn't have the quest, we wouldn't even know the statue was out here. Right? Who would know that St. Felms was hanging out here? Nobody would know. There ain't even like a little trail or path or anything, you know? Which, I don't know, is just perfectly fitting for the Tribunal Temple, I feel. Right? They just want to show off the statue to all the boats coming and going and crashing onto the rocks and everything. The smugglers bringing drugs, right? People coming by with slaves. People losing their lives to the horrible rocks as they're like having to like make another shipment of fucking ebony for sale from Vardenfell to the Empire, right? They just crash up upon the shore. Ebony spills out everywhere. St. Felms sees it all! What the fuck? Alright. Hey, in near Therethi. Lyle Schnub, Neverine, lies and oh, right, okay. Problem with the statue, right. Yeah, let's ask about this. There's a problem with the statue? I know it's merely an imitation, but I'm quite pleased with how the statue turned out. It does look pretty nice. Yeah. Look at that. Should we go up there real quick? Actually, you know what? Let me do a quick save. And let's put on some of our new boots, right? Or our pants even. There we go. Yeah, our pants are just too overpowered, huh? Wow, cool. Neat. Huh. Look at the bracer or whatever. What is that? Is that like a unique item? Huh. Is this using similar tech to what we see in Oblivion, which famously does this? Rather than the statue... Oh, shit. Rather than the statue being handcrafted, it's just a player model blown up in some way? Because it looks kind of like that, but at the same time, I can't tell for sure. It's hard for me to even discern, you know? Here, I guess we could really tell. Yeah, it's definitely a player model because look, you can see the seams here. Whereas if it were handcrafted, wouldn't it be... You wouldn't be able to see the seams between each part of the limb, right? And also the shoes are like comically sized. Yeah, gotta be. They're on that Oblivion shit. Okay. Makes sense. Alright, let's head over here and talk to this person.
Do not waste
Navusa. Thank you so much for solving my problem with the statue, Lyle Schnub. I still can't believe you managed to find the funds for all this. Yeah, well guess what? You found it! That's right, you owe me, Navusa! I'm really, really happy to be out of that town. I felt like a laughingstock the whole time I was there. Well, now I've done my task, and Nalv's Andolin will have to take me back. I can't begin to thank you enough for your help. Take my amulet. It was my mother's, but you deserve to have it. Wow, that's wild. Okay, an amulet of slow falling. Sure. It's gotta be said, it sure is wild how often in role-playing games, people just give you, like, a family heirloom. Right? Just some rando stranger. Rather than giving you, like, money or teaching you a skill, they decide to, like, dang, this used to belong to my now-dead mom? It's yours now, bud. Thanks for helping me with the statue. Good God. Alright, now Andolin. He's my superior in the temple at Andothren. I, am not in his best graces. I sort of bungled a healing poultice for a Hlalu noblewoman. Yeah, we heard that before, I believe. Okay. Problem with the statue? I'm just glad that episode is behind me. Thanks again for your help in Omanus. Do you have anything else to say? No. Do you think they'll eventually leave, or will they just live here now? Maybe after another quote-unquote 2 weeks, they'll peace out. Okay. Cool. I do like that. I'm looking forward to there being more quests in which we change the state of the overworld in some way. Whether it be smaller or larger, you know? Part of me is wondering, like, how wild are we gonna get here, you know? Like, could we have a Kvatch situation present in Tamriel Rebuilt? Something akin to what went down with Kvatch, speaking of Oblivion? Should we anticipate that? I feel like maybe we ought to. If not now, at least some point in the future, you know? Okay. Let's head on over here. Good, good, good. It would be interesting if you could have one of the smaller volcanoes on the mainland erupt as part of a quest. That would be truly fucking wild. You know, you have it to where someone's trying to detect the volcanic tectonic goings-on in the area, and eventually throughout that quest, it straight up erupts and changes part of the landscape, opens up new quests and stuff like that in a previously somewhat barren area. Would be absolutely buck wild. I think they ought to be able to do something like that, right? I think they would have the technology to do it. It's just, you know, going through the motions of actually doing it is a shitload of work, I would imagine. You know, one of those things a lot easier said than done, right? But I feel like by the time this is over, something along those lines feels almost like an inevitability, if not already present, you know? Okay, let's head on back up to the temple and finally get our next quest. Navusa Ladri thanked me for solving her problem with the statue in Omanus. She rewarded me with an enchanted amulet. We didn't even write down that it was her mother's. We didn't even write it down. We don't give a shit. We canonically don't fucking care. Okay. Let's see. Oh. Slow fall. Yeah, it very literally is just an amulet of slow falling. No other effect to it. Okay. Let's see. Head on over up this way. Maybe she'll be here again. Right?
Happy to help. What's your problem?
There's Nalvs. No, I don't think so. Alright, let's do a quick save. Can we talk to Nalvs about the situation? Cure for greed, estranged daughter, matter of payment, problem with the statue. We can ask about it.
Are you here to serve the temple by performing duties, layman, or have you come for something else?
Something else. I want to tell you about this whole statue situation we fixed.
Making a copy of the Omanus statue was not exactly what I asked of Navusa, but then again, the temple got what it needed out of the affair. Let's hope her newfound competence isn't fleeting.
Oh. I can kind of appreciate that the Tribunal Temple folks in the more Hlalu-centric town of Andothren are, in fact, sort of more down to the business end of the entirety of the Tribunal Temple, you know? It feels right to me. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure what all these others are about, aside from Cure for Greed. Cure for Greed.
Of course there's no such thing. But if a common cure disease potion will put Ullman's mind at ease, then who are we to deny him that? He is given charitably to our temple. This is the least we can do for his generosity. Gadani Pathavel should have plenty of potions.
Okay. Yeah, matter of payment and his strange daughter. Oh! Right, his daughter was asking for help.
Ullman did tell me about his daughter, but his secrets are not mine to share.
Matter of payment? It must be tied to him. Oh.
So, Ullman Vathri is well. That is good to hear. He has been a generous supporter to our temple, and making sure that he is comfortable in his final days is the least we can do in return. Sometimes kindness requires minor untruths to be told to the faithful. Do not doubt the rightness of your actions, Lyle Schnub. You did the right thing. Here, stand still and accept this blessing.
Oh. Oh, no, I absorbed it. I hope it wasn't that good. Shit, now Zendolan. I'm born under the Atronach, dude. I think I just sucked it up and turned it into like 10 Magicka. Okay. Yeah, Nalvs thanked me for checking on Ullman Vathri. Fuck, I don't think I got anything out of it. I straight up absorbed the whole damn thing. Sheesh, she should have asked me ahead of time or something. I mean, not that I could do much about it. I can't exactly go get born under a different sign. Alright, let's see. Tell me more about Ullman.
You have seen to his needs, layman.
Okay, what about matter of payment?
Don't bother me with this now, layman.
Cure for greed.
You have completed your task. Ullman Vathri is at ease.
Who is Ravor Othravel? Oh.
I sent her to the western docks to procure supplies for the temple kitchen. I had heard that there was an opportunity for a good bargain with one of the fishermen, you see. Our stores are almost empty, and we have not got a lot of money to spare. Seemed too good to pass up, and Ravor didn't have anything better to do. But she's not been back for a while now. Go, find her, and while you're at it, make sure she doesn't spend money we don't have.
Oh, I guess that would be our next duty, right?
So have you found Ravor Othravel? I swear students are nothing but trouble.
Fuck. Alright, can we load and get that from the beginning? Yeah. Okay. Let's just quickly go through everything, because I kind of wanted... We missed out on a bit of dialogue there by skipping around like a dingus. Okay, matter of payment. Problem with the statue, Ullman. There we go. Hey, I actually got the blessing that time. Wow, what was it? Preacher's glibness for 24 minutes. Speechcraft enhanced by fortified by 20. Huh. Fitting, I guess.
Learn by serving, layman.
Okay. Duties.
I need you to find Ravor Othravel.
Okay, that's it. Alright, fair enough. Supplies for the temple kitchen.
Running a free kitchen for the poor isn't cheap, layman. That's why we have to be judicious in our spending and grasp any chance at a good bargain.
Okay. Sure. Duties again?
So have you found Ravor Othravel?
No, not yet. Sorry.
You've not found her yet. Disappointing.
Okay, sure. Hey, we can ask about the Tomb of St. Olms. What do you have to say about it? Oh.
You have already performed that pilgrimage. Do you still wish to know about its meaning and location?
Sure.
The Holmes ancestral tomb is northwest of Golmark. There is a shrine on the highest point of the island, which can be reached via wooden ladders and scaffolding. An offering is not required, but you are to reenact the saint's final meditation at the Triolith.
Okay, I think that's what we'd heard before. Okay, yeah, we can ask about all of these. No, I don't need to know about them. Nor this one. Just exhausting it. Okay, cool. So where exactly were they? Back at the docks, but where precisely did it say? Western docks. Okay. Sure, let's do it. Let's go here. Oh shit. Oh yeah, this is the right way. Okay. Yeah. Revur Othravel. Yet another underling who is kind of run amok under this guy, right? Okay. So, where the hell would the western docks be? I guess northwestern? Sure. Oh yeah, over here. Okay. Jeez, this is a bit of a seedier area, isn't it? Isn't this right by the literal Tong hideout? Let's see, who are you?
Traveler.
No, you're not who I'm looking for. Alright, ask your question. Do you know of Revur Othravel? Was she through here? Never heard of her. You say she is looking for kitchen supplies? Check with Vonos Arendis. He's always trying to peddle something. Okay. Is that him down there? This person looks pretty important. Hey, yeah.
Listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Dang, I like this dude's shirt. Okay.
Pleased to meet you, Dark Elf. I am Vonos Arendis. What brings you to Andothren?
Let's see. Background?
I'm Vonos Arendis, fisherman.
Local economy? What? Let's ask about local economy. Fuck it.
Andothren is an economic hub of western Morrowind, and traders of all kinds can be found in its markets. House Lalu does most of its maritime business via Andothren's docks.
How about the local area? I think these are new commonplace topics thanks to Tamriel Rebuilt, huh? Local area.
Andothren lies on the westernmost edge of Mournhold District, on the inner sea coast of Rothrorin, the rocky uplands to the south. To the east, the mighty Thur River divides Lalu territory from Indoril lands. The towns of Arvud and Manan lie to the south, while Armanus is due west. All of them are Lalu settlements. The Redoran are further west, at Bodrum and Carter. The little port of Tain to the northwest is the only imperial settlement nearby.
Okay. How about Revur Othravel? Have you seen her?
She was here, yes. She said she was looking for supplies for the temple kitchen. Wouldn't take what I was selling, though. Maybe if you do, I'll tell you where she went.
Okay, sure. What are you selling then?
Oh, have I got a bargain for you. 1 crate of mystery meat, freshly fished out of the ocean. Must have fallen off a ship. I think it's rat. Rat meat, that is. A true delicacy. It can be yours for just 10 drakes. I'll even carry it to the temple for you. What do you say? Or what say you?
Wow, you'll even carry it to the temple for me? Okay. I love that it's rat as well. Very cool. Not what you would expect to get from the fisherman, but sure, some rat meat. Love it. And To be clear, they very well could have made it be fish, because we've seen them add in, like, even new types of dried fish and stuff, dried slaughterfish and all that. It could have been fish if they wanted, very easily. All right, yeah, rat meat, why not?
Great. Thank you for your business, Dark Elf. Now, you were saying you were looking for your friend, Revor Othravel?
Yeah. What do you know about them?
Your lass stormed off to the east side of town in search of fresher supplies. I reckon she's still there.
Okay, sure. We're not about to have some kooky comedy of errors, right? Where we're trying to track her down and we go to like a whole bunch of places. And you're like, well, yeah, she was here, but you're gonna have to buy what she refused if you want me to tell you where she went. And then we buy it. And then they all take it there. And it's like, oh shit, we just spent all this shit. And we got all these supplies now at the temple. God, I hope that happens. I mean, we could say no and potentially still track down this person. But I kind of like the idea of that happening. I kind of want it to happen, even if it's preventable.
Okay, I'm listening.
I see
All right.
this land suits you. We welcome you.
Could this be who we're looking for? Over
Any
here?
time now.
Go ahead.
Delaney
I'm waiting.
Saringi. Who are you? Andothren Shipmaster. Oh, shit. Okay. Fuck it,
Welcome,
let's...
friend. We extend you.
Are you tied to anyone else, or are you just like a weirdo stand-in? You may be a weirdo stand-in that's not meant to be here anymore.
What's this about?
No, maybe not. Okay. I hope we can't even ask about Rever here. Okay. How about you? Do you know anything? No. Huh. How about you? You're not on a ship, but maybe you do know? No, you don't even have anything to
If you
say.
want something, now's the time to talk.
Okay. How about over here? What's up? No, nothing.
Speak, traveler.
Might be further out.
You risk your neck coming here.
Went to the east of town. Huh. Like, how far east are we talking? Like, out of town? Stormed off to the east side of town in search of fresher supplies. Yeah, maybe not necessarily at the docks, because this is less fisher folk and more commercial logistics, I would guess. Just hauling stuff back and forth. Okay. Maybe in the market area? There's this warehouse here. What do you think this graffiti entails? Kamana Tong or something? Is this a, like, mob-owned warehouse? Okay. Well, let's check over here in the... Oh, hey, is it you? Yay, it is you!
By serving, layman.
Hello, Sarah Lyle Schnub. Have you come to check up on me? I've been all over the docks, trying to find some quality supplies for the temple kitchen, to no avail.
Supplies for the temple kitchen?
Now Zandolan told me there was a bargain to be had on the western docks, but all I found was a fisherman selling a stolen crate of drowned rat.
Wait, so the rat wasn't like a living rat that fell off and died and he took it. Okay, it was actually a crate of rat that fell off. It was already packaged rat.
I could not, in good conscience, buy that for our kitchen. So I went in search of better supplies, and found this gentleman here. We've been negotiating prices and he seems willing to help, but we've not been able to come to an agreement. Perhaps you can help.
I took care of the supplies for the temple kitchen already. I will talk to this merchant for you. Sure, I'll talk to the merchant.
You will? Great. He seems willing enough, but we couldn't quite reach an agreement on an affordable price.
Rever Othravel? Talk about you. I can't in good conscience return to the temple before we secure supplies for the temple kitchen with Sarah. Okay. Sure. Oh yeah, you are selling some good-looking stuff out here. Yeah, look at all this. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen Scuttle look so delicious before. Okay. Sure.
Look, your friend here has already pleaded with me for supplies for the temple kitchen. I'd love to help, but I'm not made of money, and it doesn't make any business sense for me to just give my wares away now, does it?
Okay, is there anything else we can say? No, we'll just follow this line.
I am not unsympathetic to the plight of Andothran's poor. I've hit rock bottom myself once or twice, and it's not pretty. But I'm running a business here, not a charity, and I need to consider what's in it for me. I could make a one-time donation to the temple, but that'd help neither you nor me in the long run. Instead, I propose a longer-term arrangement. For a lump sum payment, I will stock the temple kitchens with various surplus, high-quality goods from my supplier network for the next 2 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. What's in it for me?
Well, I've been planning on branching out and potentially opening up a franchise in Kraganmore or Narcissus. A lump sum cash injection might just make that possible. The resulting extra earnings should more than cover my patronage of your temple kitchen. Besides, some goodwill among people won't hurt either. At the very least, this partnership should reduce the number of street urchins stealing food from my stall.
Okay. Lump sum, how much is it?
I can provide your kitchen with fresh, high-quality food and ingredients for the next 2 years for the meager sum of 2,000 drakes, paid in full, right here, right now. What say you?
You have yourself a deal. That price is outrageous. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Man, 2,000? That's almost as much as we were burgled by the fucking vanishing highwayman. Fuck. This is just like the fishy highwayman. Do you like that? That was pretty good, huh? That was pretty good. Wow, the vanishing highwayman. This is like the fish highwayman. The highway of fish coming in and out of the harbor. What the fuck? Alright, that price is outrageous.
My apologies, I got carried away a little. Force of habit. I'm used to dealing with higher margins on my wares. But since this is a charitable effort, I can adjust my prices accordingly. 1,500 drakes for a 2-year period of deliveries to your kitchen is fairer.
That sounds fair. Haggle. How about an agreement for a single year instead? Sway, can't you go any lower? It's for a good cause. Let me think about it. I'll get back to you. How do we want to handle this? I wish I knew the difference between what exactly we're running checks on, if we are, for Haggle versus Sway. I wonder if one is gauging our speechcraft and the other is gauging our barter, or mercantile, I should say. That would be pretty fucking wild. And if that's the case, I'm pretty sure our speechcraft is a bit higher, isn't it? Fuck it, let's see. Can't you go any lower? It's for a good cause.
Well, since it's for a good cause, I suppose I can go as low as 900 drakes for 2 years of deliveries.
Holy fuck. Alright, yeah, that sounds fair. Oh my god. We got over $1,000 off? Holy shit. Alright, that sounds fair.
I'm glad we could come to an agreement. I'll have supplies sent to the temple right away.
Okay. There's also going to be all that rat there, too. Supplies for the temple kitchen.
I will promptly arrange for the deliveries of supplies. Thank you, Lyle Schnapp. This arrangement will be a great boon to both my business and the people of Andothren.
Okay. Sure. Oh, you don't even want to actually trade with me because you can smell the drugs. He hates drugs so much. He can smell them and tell. Right? He can tell when someone's carrying around. Hates them so much he knows every single minute detail about drugs. Alright, let's see. Revor Othravel. Thank you for negotiating the price of the supplies, Lyle Schnub. I'm sure the kitchen staff will be glad. Go on ahead. I'll meet you back at the temple. Sergio Galdar didn't teach me Almsivi intervention for nothing. Oh god, you're gonna warp back? It's really not that far, okay. Sure. How about yourself? Anything else? I'll be staying here in the Andothren temple for the foreseeable future. Sergio Galdar needs to move on, and he believes it is best for my education to stay in one place for a bit. Supplies? I hope Nalv Zandolin won't be too cross with us for not going for the cheapest available option. But even if he disagrees, the deal has been made, and the kitchen pantry will be fully stocked for a long time to come. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Okay. Wow, that's so cool! Right? That we're seeing someone actually just using magic casually, though? Right? Like, it is funny. And frankly, kind of fitting for a character to just, like, do such a goofy little flex in a way. You know? Just be like, oh, you walk back. I've been being taught how to use CV intervention. Right? It's kind of fitting from what little we know of her characterization that she did that. But even cooler, I love that we're just seeing more people using magic in their day-to-day lives in Tamriel Rebuilt, you know? Right? Because magic is so wild in Morrowind, you know? People have levitate. We saw someone messing around with levitate in Enchanter, right? It went horribly wrong. People using mark and recall, or whatever you would call it, in order to rob people, you know? I love seeing it used in more ways than just combat, you know? It was such like a missed opportunity in the core game, especially when they have so many incredible magic systems on display. And even in the core game, there's books referencing people using it in everyday life. But now we actually do get to see it in action, you know? At most, what we ever got to see was like a chameleon spell, you know? Or a goofy one-off bit where someone comes plummeting from the sky, you know? Okay. Let's head on over here. I guess we also got to see the after effects of some of it with the Nords and Witches, you know? But there is something to be said for actually seeing somebody doing the spellcasting animation and the game sort of lampshading the whole, I don't know, magic situation in its entirety. Okay. Let's head over here.
You'll find me worthy of your attention.
Nalvs, I've done it. I got us 2 years of food. Supplies for the temple kitchen.
So you went and spent how many hundreds of drakes on the promise of a street peddler? I am disappointed in you, layman. Your judgment is highly questionable. No, of course, I cannot reimburse you. I never signed off on any of this. At least the kitchen staff will be happy, I suppose, if this merchant of yours follows through on his promise. As for you, I trust you will execute your duties more diligently in the future.
Shit, I thought it was a pretty good deal. 900 for 2 years worth of supplies? Right? We could have talked it down to 1 year. But I thought getting in good for 2 years was a good idea. You know? I don't know. Fuck off, Nalvs. Let's see, over here. How about Revor, yeah.
I suppose she will be staying with us here in Andothren.
How about more duties? Or can we get advancement? Ah!
The temple recognizes you, Lyle Schnub. You are now Lyle Schnub, the novice.
Again? No. Talents are noteworthy, but some... Okay, we gotta do more quests. Duties.
There has been word of a troublesome orc in Bodrum. I cannot spare anyone else, so you will need to look into the situation.
Okay. Troublesome orc.
Golvin Sarian, the local priest, sent word about some trouble with some orc. Apparently, it has painted its face in mockery of Vivek, and it is said to accost the pilgrims on the roads around Bodrum.
Oh shit, did we encounter that guy? Didn't we see them? Or am I thinking of someone else? I feel like we saw someone on the roads out there. Huh.
Go there, find Golvin, and deal with his orc. Convince it.
I like how we're getting the very racist referral to this person. Not being like he, him, or they, or she even, I should say. But it, you know? Okay.
Convince it to go back to the mountains and to return to its worship of Malakath as its nature demands, or get rid of it entirely. It's all the same to me.
Okay, sure. Right, because they can't have it accosting the pilgrims when they were about to throw 100 gold at a triolith or something. Troublesome orc.
Have you taken care of this orc in Bodrum?
Not yet.
Why are you still here then? It's simple, novice. Go to Bodrum, find Golvin, and get rid of this orc.
Okay. Anything else we can ask about this? No. Alright. What did we write? Oh. I convinced Gavros Falas to sponsor the temple kitchen for an extended period of time. I've told Revor Othervel that I had secured supplies for the temple kitchen, and she will report back to the temple. I should report back to Nalv Zandolin. I wonder if we can check in at the kitchen too. I wonder if they'll have anything new to say. Nalv Zandolin was not pleased that I exceeded the temple budget arranging supplies for the temple kitchen, and refused to reimburse the cost. Even so, I have secured a good source of foodstuffs to the benefit of the community. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Okay. Sure. What was even the budget? Did they mention? I'm not sure that they did. Nalv Zandolin sent me to Bodrum to deal with a troublesome orc. Apparently the orc has been harassing pilgrims on the roads, and for some reason the local guards refuse to interfere. Okay. Very interesting that the guards did not interfere. I feel like we're in for a fun little treat when we get there. Okay, let's definitely check in at the kitchen and see if there's any reactivity there. I'm not counting on it, but it would be cool if there was.
You our warm regards.
Oh, you're back again. Yes, we've got food for the hungry and beds on the lower floor.
Supplies for the temple kitchen.
You did a good thing, youngster. Speak to my wife if you haven't already.
Oh. Huh. Ulz or Dralo? Adralo. Who is your
May you
wife?
find me worthy.
Is she also in the back cooking or something? Are you all working together?
Is there something I can
Okay.
do for you, Outlander?
Wow, cool. Wooden door. Yeah.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you
We'd been
need?
here. I never realized that they were an item.
I see this land suits you.
Oh, I love this. Wow. I love that we have helped out these old timers who are, unlike the higher ups here at the temple, they're actually in it to help people out in the area, right? They seem to have their heart in the right place.
May I help you?
Whereas the higher ups, sometimes they help people out, but they have some other motives too. Alright, Sani Adralo. You're the novice that arranged for these excellent supplies for the temple kitchen, aren't you? I am. Hey, wow, look at all this that we've gotten. You have my thanks. I doubt Nalv Zandolin will pay you, so I went around and asked the rest of the temple staff here to chip in. This pocket change probably does not cover everything, but I hope it helps. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. Wow, I love this. This is so cool. This, like, already, this was kind of a, like, it was a shorter quest. You know, we didn't have to go on some big-ass adventure or kill anything, or go into a specific dungeon or whatever. But already from the onset, it was a really cool quest that built, like, that had so much world building to it. Like, some of the best that we have seen, similar to the best that we have seen in the core game, with regards to a lot of the House Hlalu stuff that sort of highlights how shitty the like, hypocrisy, the behind-the-doors dealings of House Hlalu and the Empire relative to, I don't know, the rest of Vardenfell. This is very similar in that it was sort of, like we said, lampshading how shitty the Tribunal Temple can be, especially when it comes to higher-ups. Sometimes they help people, but oftentimes, and whether or not it's true, oftentimes when we would see them help people, it was more so that they were trying to get something else done, and they just accidentally helped someone along the way, you know? But then this is even better because it is showing that there are folks who are, like, actually interested in doing fucking work and helping out the community and shit like that, you know? Not all too dissimilar, and I know we haven't done it in Volume 2 of Morrowind Mondays, but certainly in Volume 1 we have, and it's a pretty well-known enough quest arc. But it's not all too dissimilar to the situation with the Fighters Guild and Imperial Legion. You know, with, I forget his name, but what's his butt up there in, like, Nissus, who is actually, like, really trying to earnestly help out people despite being a legionary, and is, like, doing his best to sort of help people and acknowledge, like, the culture clash going on and sort of the fucked up situation that everybody finds themselves in, versus other people in the Legion, in the Fighters Guild, who are kind of like major pieces of shit, right? And really do not give a fuck and are just willing to, like, kill people willy-nilly, you know? This feels cut of a similar cloth to that quest arc. And I can't remember if it is Legion or Fighters Guild. I think it's a combination of both, right? Isn't that guy specifically a contact for both of them? I want to say he's centric to the Fighters Guild arc, but he is also a contact for the Legion. I want to say. I can't remember. But if you know what I'm talking about, you know exactly the person I'm speaking of in that quest arc, and it is very good. But this, like I said, very similar situation. Great way to sort of highlight, like I said, just regular ass people trying to help everybody out and shit, right? And see here, the two of them, they're not, like, dressed up like they're very wealthy as well, you know? They're just trying to help out people in need and shit. Fucking amazing. All right. Thanks again, yeah. Fucking amazing. Excellent. Excellent fucking little quest, I think. Okay. Sani Adralo, the cook in the Andothren temple kitchen, thanked me for arranging the deliveries of high-quality supplies and handed me a bundle of pocket change she had collected from the temple's staff as a reward. Man, that's so cool. I think even more so that what I enjoy about this is that they only vaguely referred to the kitchen staff throughout this. They didn't even mention Ulz Adralo or his wife by any name, right? They didn't mention either of them by name. Just in general, kitchen staff, right? No Ulz, no Sani. Neither of the Adralos are name dropped. But you 100%, in a more immersive sort of experience, you can just go over there and ask them about it. You know, you can just interject about it, and it leads you to something, right? There's reactivity. And sure, you don't make back your money, there's no huge-ass reward, but it's such a cool, fucking dope-ass, immersive little experience to go back and do it, right? That's what makes it hit so fucking good for me, at least, right? I don't mind that you don't get, like, some major cool artifact or whatever. It's the fact that there is some sort of permutation, some sort of way in which it acknowledges what you've done. You know, there's some little extra tidbit that you can go seek out if you want. You know, it's so fucking good, right? I had no idea that it would lead to anything. We just did on a whim, and it was close enough. Why not? You know, and lo and behold, it did, right? And it added so much more extra character to, like I said, the entirety of the temple, right? And that's something that we've remarked on before in the playthrough, Volume 1 and 2, that with a lot of these more corrupt institutions, particularly in Vardenfell, a lot of them do have like shitty people in control, but there are folks working at lower levels, or even a few at higher levels, who are working at odds against a like fucked up system trying to make the best of things and succeeding or failing, you know? And then it offers a perfect opportunity for a player character to come and interject and have some sort of agency there, you know? It's so incredibly well handled, I think. All right. Well, fucking A, I spent forever just gushing about how much I fucking, like, was surprised by and loved that little interaction there. I guess when next we come back, we'll head over to Bodrum and check out this weird orc situation, right? Which, it sounds like we're in the running for another more kooky, whimsical sort of quest, rather than the earnest one that we had just gotten done with, right? Which, hey, it's been a hot minute, you know? It feels the amount of goofy stuff relative to earnestness, so far it feels spot on. It feels roughly equivalent to the core game from what I can tell. Anyway, of course, if you'd like to stick around, we forgot to last time, but we're going to do a little bit of reading. And what are we going to read this time? Well, whatever the fuck we forgot about last time. Camaraderie. Now, if you'll excuse me, gotta take a quick drink here. Sorry about this. All right, camaraderie. Oh, right, yeah, this one is like a song or poetry? I think poetry. Okay. Which in and of itself, like we've established before, this totally meshes with the core game. There's several poetry books that you find. I think even as part of the main quest, you have to go through some of that, don't you? Anyway. Camaraderie. Remnants. Together, we fall as blind, through broken, dirt-littered with mourning sounds, synced with swords whimpering their tales of sorrow and remorse. It was all around us, broken shields, severed arms, bodies twisted to the pounding beat of horse hooves and war drums. The gnashing clash of our generation. Victory? We have victory? Does it shine in our open palms, drop into our outstretched child hands like mountains of diamonds and emeralds? Does it cut away, child hands finger by finger, limb by limb, until there's nothing but a pile of severed pieces, useless, meaningless mountains of flesh? For the glory of the Empire, for the glory of Tiber Septim, for the glory, for the glory. Caius Lutinus, Imperial Soldier. Holy shit! Oh my god! Jeez! Okay. Man, that is a wild one. Okay. I guess I can't wait to see some more anti-Imperial Legion sentiment and stuff, right? Or just in general anti-war sentiment from Tamriel Rebuilt. Can't wait to see more shit like this coming up. Alright, let's see whatever this person wrote. I wonder if they did a quest or two. Okay. excerpts from a commander's journal. While they can be violent and vicious, they are profoundly dedicated to one another in battle. They have proven themselves to be the best keepers of Tiber Septim's glory, and the glory of his descendants. I reinforce this in my design for their training. They are set aside for a time from their ordinary routines. I give them special sharings, which they can look back upon with pleasure for the rest of their lives. They come of age in the company of their brothers in preparation for events more profound. What you share in companionship always prepares you for greater things. The haze of nostalgia covers their days among their brothers, making those days into something different than they were. That's the way today changes their history. All contemporaries do not inhabit the same time. The past is always changing, but few realize it. And then another excerpt. Make no heroes. A hero inevitably results in the breaking of camaraderie. The group becomes dependent upon that hero as though he were a father, and they were his children. The ability of the group to function as it was meant to function ceases. The ability of the group to function as it was meant to function ceases, and the system breaks apart. So long as the soldiers are set on equal footing, they are a perfectly synced fighting group. The system of hierarchy is a system that breeds weakness into otherwise strong and competent warriors. Another excerpt. The relationship between soldier and commander is analogous to the relationship between serf and lord, apprentice and master, and even worshipper and god. Each association requires absolute subordination on the part of the lesser member in order for the system to continue appropriately. The serf must obey his lord, the apprentice his master, and the worshipper his god. Thus it is with a soldier. The greater member must use a judicious blend of punishment and reward. If the master applies excessive punishment, the servant will become docile and weak, incapable of bravery or initiative. However, if the master does not grant rewards shrewdly, the servant loses respect for the master and becomes difficult to control. Thus, the relationship between soldier and commander must be a balance. Man, this stuff is really wild to read right after that poetry. Most civilization is based on cowardice. It's so easy to civilize by teaching cowardice. You water down the standards which would lead to bravery. You restrain the will. You regulate the appetites. You fence in the horizons. You make a law for every movement. You deny the existence of the dynamic. You teach even the children to breathe slowly. You tame. Lucio Argalis, Imperial Commander. Yeah. What a fucking huge piece of shit. Do you think we'll meet this person? Oh my god. What a, it only kind of gets worse, right? Like, at first you're like, okay, what am I to read of this person as we're getting deeper and deeper into it? And then by the end of it, they're just like, most civilization is based on cowardice. Like, holy fuck. Right? This is, I feel like you run into, people like this on Twitter and shit, right? This is just like a social media fascist, you know? Alright, sure. Traveler. Another poem, I think. I walked through the desert alone, the unceasing sun as a slaver's lash upon my back. My skin was burned, my water spent. I would die as a silhouette, dark skin on white sands. Then I was found, alone no more. She gave me water, she gave me food, she gave me life. We were entwined by blood, and we live forever. Huh. Okay. Taken from the oral histories of Hammerfell. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, once again, I think there is also something about the presentation here that the author of the book, not like the in-game author, but like the actual person who wrote this, you know, it's very clear to see the author's intent and like what they believe in with this book by way of putting these I don't know, these more heartfelt, these more meaningful, sincere sorts of calls out of people suffering in different ways. They sandwich in the center this like harshness, you know? And I think it's very important as well to take away that although I'm not even personally a poetry person, like I'm on record saying like I don't really... Poetry and me, I don't really get it too much. I'm a bit of a fucking idiot. But I think there's no denying the fact that this is, regardless of whether or not I have the capability to appreciate it on that level, I can 100% recognize that this is meant to be like, there's meant to be a sadness and a beauty to both of these poems in their own way. And there is meant to be a rigidity, a callousness, a calculative, a coldness to the excerpts from the commander's journal. It's very important that this was not poetry. You know? Not a bad fucking book, honestly. For painting a picture of, I guess the Empire, right? Being a soldier, a legionary. Though I don't really know about this. Taken from the oral histories of Hammerfell. You know? Because this isn't necessarily tied to the military, but you would assume it is. Right? Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Still, like I said, fairly decent. Fairly good-ass book, I would say. Okay. Well, like I said, when next we come back, we're heading over to Bodrum and all of that. We're gonna seek out some orc who has gone buck wild out there. The people are refusing to stop for some reason or another. Until next time, please take care of each other.